Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Kieko and today I'm going to be talking about Japan. So now that Japan has opened up their borders to tourists, a lot of people will be flying there, and I thought it would be good to teach you some basic phrases that you can use, as well as teach you the things that you shouldn't do when you're in Japan. Most of you know that I am half Japanese and I've been to Japan so many times. I've even lived there for a few months, so I just wanted to share some of the things that I know. So first I'm going to start with the rules and manners. So recycling is really important in Japan. You will see a recycling bin almost everywhere, next to vending machines, at your hotel, or even out on the streets. Please make sure to separate the things like wooden stuff and plastic stuff and put it in the correct bin. Also make sure that there's no food inside or water or any drinks. You should finish those things first before you put it in the bin. There are pictures on the bin to help you, and sometimes it's in English, so it's really easy to understand. Please make sure you line up and wait for your turn. Not lining up is unacceptable. People will not like you for doing that. Even if you have a question, line up and ask once it's your turn. Also, when you line up, make sure it's single file so that you're not like clustered together as a group. Make sure that you're actually behind each other, and this applies to bus stops and when you're getting on the train or just when you're at the convenience store. Lining up is so important in Japan and it's really rude if you don't. Please keep areas clean for the next customer. Yes, there are cleaners at restaurants or in toilets, but it's part of the Japanese culture to clean up after you finish something. So yeah, if you spill something on the table or you spill something on your chair, please get tissue and clean it up. Also, if you use the bathroom or toilet, just make sure that it's clean for the next person. You should cover your mouth if you sneeze, cough or burp. Just try not to burp if you can. Loud noises are frowned upon in Japan, and we always cover our mouth when we sneeze or cough to prevent germs flying everywhere. Most people are probably wearing a mask outside due to COVID, but even then people still cover their mask. Don't point at anyone. It is really rude to point at someone like this. Maybe if you want to show someone, you can kind of get your hand out like that and just say this person over there, but never point at that person because it is really rude. Another thing is to not eat and walk at the same time. So if you go to a convenience store like 7-Eleven and you buy something, try not to walk and eat at the same time. People don't like that. Even drinking and walking is frowned upon. You definitely shouldn't eat or drink on the train unless it's a Shinkansen, which is a bullet train, because with long distance trains they actually serve food on the train, or they serve food on the platform, so it means that you can eat on that train. But normal trains, you can't do that. Yeah, if you do want to eat or drink, find a park, somewhere you can sit down, or just like a corner somewhere where people aren't watching you. Please never stick a chopstick in the bowl like this. That is extremely rude. And also never use your chopstick to slide a bowl towards you, because that is extremely rude as well. Always place your chopstick on the table or on top of the bowl once you've finished, and yeah, never stab it into the food because that is really rude. Another thing is to not eat with your mouth open because you're not a horse, and please don't stuff your face with food and talk at the same time. Food will go flying everywhere and it's seen as quite disgusting in Japan, so yeah, always close your mouth when you eat. Please don't talk loudly on the phone in public. People like their peace and quiet, especially when they're on a train or just anywhere in general. You will never see someone shouting on the phone to someone. You won't see anyone talking and laughing really loudly on the phone to someone. It's just not something that you see. If people do answer the phone on the train in Japan, which can be quite rare, they actually cover their mouth and talk very quietly on the phone. They even cover themselves with like a newspaper sometimes. So yeah, just try not to talk loudly. Whisper if you can. So in most places, shoes stay outside. So in temples and shrines and hospitals and schools and people's houses, people don't really wear their shoes indoors. Usually you can tell by by going into the entrance, which is called a genkan, and if there's slippers lined across the floor, then it means that you should change into the indoor slipper. Even in restaurants, especially restaurants that have tatami mats, people will not wear outside shoes on tatami mats, so you would change into a slipper. Some toilets also have a toilet slipper, so you would take off your indoor slipper, change into the toilet slipper for the toilet, and then come out and use your indoor slipper again. This might be annoying to some people, but if you have a tattoo, you cannot go to the hot springs in Japan. Hot springs are called onsen. They associate tattoos with crime, so unfortunately you cannot go to an onsen. Another thing about onsens is that please make sure you rinse your body, shower first before you step inside the hot spring. So you're just cleansing off your sweat or dirt before stepping inside the onsen, because an onsen is a place that we share with other people, so we just want to make sure that our body is clean. When you sit down anywhere, make sure that your legs are together, especially when you're on a train. It's very selfish to spread your leg out. Be mindful of the people who are next to you. Yeah, so just anywhere you go, even restaurants, make sure that your legs are together. Try not to blow your nose in public, especially in front of another person's face. It is seen as disgusting, again with the germs coming out, spreading everywhere. So if you really need to blow your nose, find a toilet or go to a corner somewhere and blow your nose there. Don't give tips in Japan. It's not like America where tipping is part of the culture. So in Japan, if you tip someone, they'll probably like chase after you and try to give you back the money. So just be accurate with everything. Give the right amount of money. Another thing about money is that when you go to a convenience store, or if you go to a supermarket or shopping mall, you'll probably see a little tray. Sometimes it's like blue or green or something, and it's sitting right there where you can see it. Put your money on there. So you would put the biggest note first, and then the smallest note on top, and then all the coins on top of that. That way it's easier for the cashier to pick up and count. So yeah, use the trays that are provided. When you're giving something or receiving something, use both hands like this. So when you give something, use both hands, give it to the person. If someone else is giving you something, take both and bring it towards you. Yeah, it's rude to use one hand like this. If you're going to Nara, please do not feed the deer your own food. There will be a lady somewhere selling special deer food. It looks like a biscuit, so you can feed the deer that, but please do not feed your own food. And make sure that if you are carrying rubbish, you keep it in your bag and you find a bin to throw it in. There's been a lot of cases where deers have been eating junk off the street and people's plastic rubbish, and they end up choking and dying. So just take care of the environment, don't throw litter on the floor. This also applies to other places, like in the mountains there's wild boars, please don't feed them. When you go to somewhere like Hokkaido, you might see monkeys, just don't feed them. Yeah, just try not to feed animals unless there's an actual option to. If you're out with a group of people, especially Japanese people, don't serve yourself a drink at a restaurant or a bar. Make sure that you serve all the other people first before serving yourself. Unless you're alone, of course you can serve yourself a drink, but when you're with a group of people, you tend to serve the other people first. Please be respectful at shrines and temples. If you have children, control your kids. Make sure they're not running around everywhere screaming. Don't make any loud noises. Just be really respectful, because a shrine and temple is a peaceful place. It's there for people to pray and make wishes, so you don't want to ruin anyone's peace with loud noises. So here's what you do when you go to a shrine. So if you want to pay your respect, and there's a place where you can throw money inside a box and you can kind of like make a wish or pray, go up there and throw either a 5 yen or a 100 yen coin. Make sure that you don't do it too hard, just so that it goes in the actual box. Once you do that, bow twice. Okay, so you can bow like this at like a 90 degrees angle, And then there might be a bell that you can ring, so ring that twice only. 1, 2, like this. Don't ring it so many times, that's really rude and disrespectful to the gods, so don't do that. After you ring the bell, you will then clap twice like this, and then you'll bring your hand towards you, and then you'll close your eyes and you'll pray like this, or you'll make a wish. And when you're standing there for about 20 to 30 seconds, because there's probably a queue behind you, so you'll do that. And once you've finished, put your hands by your side and do 1 bow again, and then just walk away. So now I'm going to be teaching you some simple phrases and words that you can use when you're traveling around Japan. So the first one is thank you. So we say arigatou gozaimasu. Arigatou gozaimasu. Arigatou gozaimasu. So maybe you're at a restaurant and someone has just given you your food, so you can say to the waitress or waiter arigatou gozaimasu, like that. Once you have finished your food and you're leaving the place, you're saying bye to anyone, you would say arigatou gozaimashita. Arigatou gozaimashita. Another really useful one is excuse me. So we say sumimasen. Sumimasen. So maybe you're calling for help, you would ask the person sumimasen and then say what you need help with. Or maybe you're trying to get past someone on the street, you would say sumimasen. This one is for buying stuff, okay? So how much is this? So this is kore. Okay, so if you're pointing at something like this battery pack, kore wa ikura desu ka? Ikura desu ka? I know it's really long, but I think if you repeat it so many times, you'll get used to this. So kore wa ikura desu ka? So although we say yen in English with a Y at the front, it's actually en with en. So if we have a 10 yen coin, we would actually say 10 yen. Ju is 10. This is another really useful one. It's this please. So when you're buying something, kore, again like this, kore, kudasai. Kudasai is like you want to have it. Kore kudasai. Yes is hai and no is iie. But if you want to say yes please, you would say onegai shimasu. Onegai shimasu. So if you want someone to do something for you and you're saying yes please, you would tell them onegai shimasu. If you're lost on the street and you have absolutely no idea where you are, you can try and find someone and you can tell them I'm lost. Mayottemasu. Mayottemasu. I hope this information was useful for you if you are thinking of traveling to Japan. If you want me to make more videos like this, I definitely can. I'll try to think of other things. If you want specific topics, just let me know. The main thing is just to be very polite in Japan and be respectful of other people, and don't be loud, don't be selfish, and don't be greedy. Anyway, this is the end of my video. I hope you enjoyed. Please make sure to subscribe, like, and leave a comment down below. I'll be happy to answer any of your questions, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!